Hi, Kate. This is Anindha here. Um,
Hey there, how's it going?
yeah, pretty good. How are you?
Very good, very good. Thank you. How's your morning been so far? What's been happening?
I'm in Vietnam, so it's still pretty early. I do wake up early, but yeah, it's still 6 a.m. So it's
Oh
probably
my goodness.
just getting started for the day as well. Yeah.
Uh, well, I very much appreciate you taking the time to chat to me. I'm sorry that it's at 6 a.m. We could have pushed it back a little,
Oh
but
no, it's okay.
appreciate
I'm used to this anyway because I'm actually I do get up for like San Francisco calls and things like that. So yeah, this is actually not too bad. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Well, no,
Yeah.
lovely to meet you. Dan has given me a little bit of context, but not heaps. So is it help? I would actually love to just like use the time to get to know you and hear a little bit about your story, but happy to take your steer and also happy to start with a little bit of context on Airtree if that's helpful at all.
Yeah, I know Airtree really well. I've been speaking to Airtree for like 5 years. So yeah, so it's even my previous startup. So, and I think that, yeah, I think in Australia, Airtree needs no introduction, right? Like they're very well known. But yeah, I can give you a little bit of background on myself. So I've been a software engineer for 20 years. My first kind of grad role was, I was second engineer at Freelancer. So it helped scale that system up and did a lot of full stack product development from kind of like made it from one having being on one box to like 30 servers, scaled it up to millions of users. Um, then I worked at Optiva, this is like high frequency trading. Then I moved over to SF, worked for Groupon for a year, hated it. So I ended up moving into a startup that they acquired. So I was still working at Groupon, but I was at a startup doing mobile stuff. At Groupon, I did AI. And then ever since then, I've just been doing startups, either as my own startup or as a contractor for some other companies as like CTO. Yeah. So since like 2015, so about 10 years. Yeah.
Why did you hate Groupon?
I just didn't like the politics of trying to get things shipped. Because yeah, it was like I remember once I was trying to ship something, and there was like three teams that needed to coordinate, and I was like, oh, stuff this. I'm just gonna like do the change on all three repos, and then everyone got annoyed. But then they looked at it, and then and they kind of like made some edits and accepted the pull request after some kind of some political negotiation on like from the product managers and things like that. So, hey, we need this feature. Can you help him and then do it? He's gone to a lot of work to get this done. So it's not fast moving. And this, like, if you want a feature, it takes like a quarter to get it done basically. So I didn't like that, but the startup was fast moving. It was like just two people on my team, on the iOS team. It was a point of sale, and yeah, we shipped a lot of stuff, and it felt more, kind of, more familiar to me and my experience. Yeah.
Yeah. No, cool. I'm curious about like how you contrast your different experiences, like from freelancer to Optiva to Groupon. Like what did you like and what did you not like about them? And then tell me a bit more again about like the decision between moving because it feels like quite a vibe shift moving between the different roles.
Yeah. I think the biggest change was going to Optiva because it was like very much a different, like it wasn't a consumer product, it was an internal product, but there was a lot of smart people there. And I think the common thread I've always had in all my roles is that it's been a challenging role and I've learned a lot from a lot of smart people along the way. So that's what I've been optimizing for like in the early part of my career. So I went to Optiva because I, it was kind of silly. I was young and I wanted to work somewhere where all the smart people were working, and it was the hardest place to get a job at. So I decided to get a job there, and yeah, so that was kind of the reason why I went to Optiva. Probably should have stayed a freelancer longer. Yeah, I think the problem was I got a mortgage and then I had a startup salary, and yeah, it was a bit difficult to kind of live on the startup salary while you have a mortgage. So I ended up moving to Optiva, and yeah, for yeah, partly financial reasons because I
Oh
made
my
some
gosh,
mistake of
those
getting a mortgage.
salaries at the trading firms, they're ridiculous. Yeah, I don't blame you at all. Uh, awesome. And then what are you working on today and how did you get here?
Yeah, so I'm working on Junabase. I can show you actually. It's probably the best way, but it is pretty much a um, you start with an idea and it gives you an app which can scale to millions of users. It's based on my experience. It's like the architecture that you get for the produced app is a hybrid of what Optiva used and what all the Groupon and Freelancer and all the web scale companies use. So it also scales up horizontally, but also has very low latency in the kind of nanosecond, microsecond range. Yeah.
Well,
So that kind of slogan is at the moment, we've been testing a lot of copy, but real software, not prototypes. So that's comparing it to like Lovable or Bold or
mm,
Replit and like some of the other ones that you can get to a couple of thousand users, but if you really want to scale it up to like 10,000 users or a million users, it requires a lot of you probably need a lot of help if you're not technical. And the other difference is you get native iOS and Android apps and not so they're not React Native. It's a little bit technical, but yeah, that's kind of like the other feature of the differentiator. Yeah, so these are some of the example apps, demo apps, and some client apps as well. So this is actually like interactive. So we just added the feature where you can it generates a landing page as well. So this is actually the Airtree one that I generated and how Dan got Dan's attention, I guess. And then so there's the app as well, and so yeah, I can go through this in more detail, but yeah, and then there's a bunch of other ones as well, and you can see they all have their own kind of like theme, and they're all custom built, but these are just the previews. Yeah, so this is like this is a preview. It costs about $20 to the user to generate a preview on a landing page, and to get the spec docs as well. But yeah, you can just see there's quite a few of these kind of projects. There's a bunch more. I can show you that as well, but these are just the ones that we display on the website right now. And
yeah,
then
cool.
yeah, so it's kind of like the app as well, and there's a mobile version as well.
Mm. It looks super, super neat. I'm trying to. Can you tell me a bit more about like the difference between what is happening here and
Mm.
Lovable?
Yeah, so I can probably show the product, and then yeah, actually this will explain it a little bit
Mm,
better. Um, so Lovable, for example, doesn't have this brainstorm feature. They might have added it recently. So it acts like a product manager. And then it asks you a bunch of questions. So the AI's name is Juna, named after my son. And then you get formal specification documents and a design system at the end of that process, just like a PM would produce. And then you get the live preview, which I just showed you there. And then once you're happy with that, then you pay 30% upfront to get a staging link. And this is the real build. So this is the build that would scale you to 1 million users. Then once you're happy with that, and if there's any changes, you can make in the first 7 days. And then after that, you pay the remaining 70%. And then it goes to production. You get the full build in production, and then you can make any updates. And then each update is quoted in the same way, and we have hosting as well, so you can scale up. Yeah, and how we compare.
mm,
So I think this probably answers your question. Is like Lovable and all those other things, other competitors. There's Bolt's not
mm,
here, but that's similar. Um, they don't they're better for prototypes and getting things out quickly, and they charge around $200 a month. But
mm,
our price range is we're more comparable to agencies, like a good
mm,
agency. So we start around 5K and got to about 50K for a really big app. And then something like an agency would go from like 50K to 500K. So it's about an order of magnitude cheaper than an agency. And we can do it in like 24 hours. Each build takes between 6 and 12 hours, but we say 24 hours just in case there's sort of a failed build or something along those lines. Yeah.
that makes sense. So have you come across anyone kind of targeting this similar sort of agency quality version of Lovable? Like, has anyone else sort of popped up in the space that you've come across?
Some people have, but some people are doing it like kind of human in the loop, like developer in the loop sort of thing. Like it's not fully hands free like we have done. So
Mm.
that's a lot more ambitious and a lot harder than just um, kind of having. So I've seen people quote like 7 days, and that means that they have like an onboarding process, and they'll have a developer use Claude Code to code it up with the spec docs and things like that, but nothing that's fully automated that I've seen. Yeah.
Got it.
And
And
there's
then,
and it, so
sorry,
go ahead.
no, you go.
I
What
was
are you
just
gonna
saying
add?
there's like different aspects of this, like the PM. There's like Chat PRD is one
Yeah.
example. Software Factory is one example. So everyone's trying to do a little bit of this, but no one has done the full suite from end to end, which is like from idea to fully scalable app.
Mm. Yeah, I've seen a couple of companies doing the like spec or doc sort of
Yeah,
creation that you then plug into something else. Um, how do you think about like, I hate to ask this question, but
yeah,
I'm going to, like the Anthropic ChatGPT coming into this space. Like,
mm,
the way we think about this is like, or we are starting to think about this is where there's like really vertical specific workflows, you're a little bit more, and like highly regulated industries or slow moving adoption, you're a little bit more insulated versus something like this feels like it could be in like the near term strategy of something like an Anthropic or an OpenAI. Like, how do you
yeah.
think about that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So I think that Anthropic will do it, but they'll probably do it in the next year or two. So
Mm,
it's a race to raise like
mm,
$1 billion basically, so you can write your own model. The
yeah.
reason why we'll win against their model is because their model does every single language, so it's a little bit technical, but we only do C. So even our client apps are in C.
Mm,
Even the website is in C. So this whole thing is mostly in C. Yeah, and like all our apps are in C. So we have a very specialized model, leaner and cheaper. So yeah, there's a page on the deck, which explains that. Yeah.
yeah. And then I'm curious about your like more like your like your bigger thoughts about Anthropic as a whole coming into the space. Like, so the
Yeah.
cost advantage of leaner models, like I get that.
Okay.
Is there
And
anything else
faster
that
as
I'm kind
well.
of missing? Like, yeah, faster.
Yeah, I think that's the only difference
Mm,
is like if you say Anthropic could go and be only C as well, but there's the same reason why they haven't done it already is because that's the reason why they didn't do it first. They try to capture like the bigger market, which is all the languages and easier
mm,
adoption. They could also say we're not supporting Python, we're not supporting JavaScript. I mean, not JavaScript. They have to support JavaScript, but they can say that they're not supporting a lot of the languages in the future, or have a model that's only for C that people use. But I really think that's like 3 to 4 years down the pipeline. I think they'll have something like this, or like probably in the next year or two. So it is a race, and I'll be honest, yeah, it's a race to raise a lot of money so you can build your own model.
mm. And how long have you been working on this idea?
So the foundations of this stem like 13 years because the architecture I built this type of architecture every time I worked at a company. So some version of this. But the actual enablement has only been possible in the last month or two. So last 2 months where, kind of like the new Opus models came out. I've only been working on the automation side of things for the last 6 weeks. So basically,
Wow.
I built a SQL database using Claude Code, and I had an aha moment, and that post went kind of viral, and I realized that people didn't want to buy an SQL database from me. So I pivoted to this idea.
Interesting. And then are you working on it just yourself or have you got a team around you?
At the moment, it's mostly me. There's a designer who does like contract work, and so he's like specced up a lot of stuff. And then I have someone who's doing like a little bit of business development, but yeah, I think it's like 95% me at the moment, maybe 90% me at the
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Yeah. And how are you thinking about like building out the team? Like say you raise $2 million tomorrow, would you hire more people or what would you do with it?
We wouldn't raise 2 million tomorrow, because I think we don't need it. I think in the
Mm,
current climate, like I think every dollar's worth 10x because you don't have to hire a team right now. All I need is AI credits basically, um, and then
Mm-hmm.
I need a little bit of design work because I can't
Mm-hmm.
do design that well. I mean, I did this website and it's nominated for a design award. So I mean
No way.
that's
That's awesome.
yeah
That's
yeah I'll
great.
show you actually yeah.
Yeah, that is so
So
cool.
yeah, so it's got some votes already. It got nominated for a design award.
Oh, how
Um,
good. So you
yeah,
can
so
do
it's got
design.
I can do design, but not as well as my friend who he's a very good designer. He's like a world class designer. But yeah, we'll see if I win or not. But yeah, so this is the all awards with the triple W. Yeah,
So
so I don't know
good.
if you've heard of this, but yeah, they have like daily winners, and it's normally very high end agencies that kind of get selected for this. So yeah, it was a little bit of work to kind of get to that stage. Yeah.
No,
Um,
that's super exciting. So sorry, you wouldn't raise $2 million. You'd raise
no,
a little bit of
like
money
yeah.
credits.
Yeah, just for basic AI credits, we're raising 250K and we're trying to
Mm-hmm.
close the round by the 16th of April. Realistically, we only need like about 50K. So somewhere between 50K and 250K is like enough to get us to the end of the year. Um, which I think is at a point where we should be, kind of generating quite a bit of revenue if things go to plan. So that is kind of the idea. Even if we did raise 2 million, probably just hire like one or two people because that it actually slows you down with AI because there's the coordination between humans is a lot slower than the coordination between AI. So it's actually a disadvantage to have a large team at this stage. Like you probably just want one or two people, and each person has like a slightly different role. Um, yeah, so probably like a designer would probably be my first hire.
Yeah. And then how are you thinking about like go to market then as well? Like if things go to plan, lots of revenue by the end of the year, how do you get to
Yeah.
that?
So at the moment it's all organic traffic. So we're getting about 1,500 views on the website a day, somewhere between 1,300 and 1,500. It's just picked up recently. I did a lot of SEO work recently, and that's the reason for the change. And then we got nominated for that design award, so we have a little bit of traffic coming off that. And then it's LinkedIn, just posting on LinkedIn and commenting on LinkedIn. So that's been the other strategy. So it's all organic, kind of marketing at the moment. Yeah.
Got it. I'm
Uh,
interested.
Sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead. Yeah.
organic marketing. And then is the plan to just kind of stay on that track until the end of the year or like
Yeah, I
is
think
that a
so. Yeah, I think the SEO is pretty strong, so I can kind of show you what I mean, what we mean by the SEO. Yeah, so what we do, so this is our SEO kind of juice at the moment. So for every project that we have a listing, and it's under Junadev, and then for each page, this becomes kind of like another entry into Google's index. And so we're getting a lot of SEO
Mm,
traffic from this. And so the
mm,
idea is that we pick all the top keywords that people are searching for projects and software and have like 100 projects or even 1,000 projects on this list. And then at the moment, we have like 19. But yeah, eventually we'll have like 100 projects on here or 1,000 projects, and that's going to be our SEO juice. And then
mm,
and we're getting a lot of indexing from the AI like AI chats as well, the AI companies.
mm, mm. That makes
And
sense.
then LinkedIn is obviously just using my network and um yeah, just trying to
Mm,
grow followers and things like that.
mm,
I don't have a lot of followers, like about 1,500, a little bit more than 1,500 followers at the moment.
mm. No, that I think there's definitely a trend towards that, right? That like build in um public
Yeah.
slash linked influencer type style stuff is
Yeah, that's
seems to
right.
be
Yeah.
getting some momentum.
Yeah,
Your
we got a
your
little bit
part
of traffic from you have a little bit of traffic from YouTube as well, it's like from
mm,
these kind of like videos and things like that. Yeah.
no, it's cool. I'm I'm pretty curious curious about your like the fundraising plans with the space that you're in. Like I feel like you're entering one of the most competitive spaces. There's a bunch of companies in the US who are popping up probably in the next month or two trying to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It makes sense because there's a compelling why now. The models have just gotten better in the last few months. But I'm curious how that ties to your like if you need to move fast and like compete against some of these international players who are raising much bigger rounds, like how does a 250K raise and your kind of like organic marketing plan kind of reconcile with the like speed and money that people are raising in the US? Have you thought about that much?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. So I think if any company that raised prior to 2026 raised way too much, like 10x too much,
Mm,
so
mm,
discount all that, because they've actually got a disadvantage now and they're all letting go of people. Um, Anyone who's raised in the last 2 months has raised a lot less. Um, and kind of like an example is Rourke, who's making, or like they've made a lot of money based on just raising 3 million. That's probably the best comparable. I think I can't remember their numbers exactly, but they were like, I don't think they shared them, but they had a graph, and then yeah, basically it was like they had like 10x their ARR in like the last 2 months. Yeah, just because like the models have gotten a lot better and they started doing native as well. So probably Rourke is the best example. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like not a lot of people are talking about that so much that the
yeah,
2025 rounds you may be actually a burden now
yeah,
if you because of the bottleneck of laying off people, which would take time and energy. That's
yeah.
interesting.
That's right. Yeah.
Um, what else haven't we covered? Maybe like the milestones and next steps that you're working on for the next few months.
Yeah, sure. I can give you those. I can give you a quick look at the app as well if you want to have a look at it. Or we can go straight to the milestones.
Yeah, let's have a look at this. Yeah, this is
Okay,
the app.
yeah. So yeah, the way it works,
Mm,
like I described it before, but it's easy to show. So you
mm,
can say there's actually a YouTube video where I walk through this whole process
yeah.
whilst I'm doing it live. So I just asked it a question. I was like, I have no idea what Airtree needs. So I just say, I need to build an app. Can you give me a list of features? And it gave me
Mm.
all these features. I said, that sounds great. Just include them all. And then I said, oh, also include founders that in the portfolio companies ask and founders seeking investment.
Mm,
So it added those features. And then it goes down and then you get like oops, this is open. then, uh, then you get this formal specification doc. So
mhm.
this is what I was talking about. This is kind of like Chat PRD
Yeah,
equivalent, and then you can download this as well. And
yeah.
the business model is that you can download these. You pay for what the credits you use times two. So we may actually make money if someone specs it out and does a
Mm,
preview. So it costs about to the user about $20. I did this a couple of times, so it's a bit more, but it's about
mm,
$20, and then we make about $10 per user. So we kind of like it's kind of lowering our CAC and maybe even making some money in the short term from that.
mm.
And then so I pull the Airtree colors from the website, so it matches the
Nice.
colors and it builds a
Nice.
design system. And then you get the screen designs, similar concept, and then you get a live preview, which I showed you before. And then so this is and then you get a quote, which is 30% you pay up front, and then you get a staging
Mhm,
link, and then you
mhm,
pay the remainder when you want to push to production.
mm.
And then yeah, so
Have you
then this is
tested that
the
sorry.
go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, have you tested that willingness to pay point? Like, I think if I'm a
Yeah, I have. Yeah. So the problem was people didn't want to pay without seeing anything. So we added this
mm,
preview feature.
mm,
So now they can preview the app, and then they get a landing page as well. So this is also good for founders who haven't raised their first round. They can
yeah,
go do this for $20 and then start like getting feedback, and then also like maybe even raise a little bit of money on the back of like that clickable prototype, like a
mm,
family and friends round for like 20K or something like that.
mm,
So that yeah, that's kind of the idea behind this this thing, because people weren't converting to the fully paid project. We only have two customers and we had a lot of demos. So, but a lot of people would want this.
mm,
So I think once we release on the 16th, to answer your other question, which was like, what's the roadmap? We're going to make a full self-service and a full general availability on the 16th of April. And then we're going to finish our raise by the 16th of April as well, which happens to be my son's birthday as well. So,
oh, beautiful.
so yeah, so I remember the date very clearly when we launched.
That that is really nice. got it. So 16th of April launch. Tell me a bit more about the two customers that you said you've onboarded already, though.
Yeah, so one of the customers just wanted the landing page. So that was a very small customer. So I wouldn't even count that as a customer because initially we thought we would just do landing pages, and then we realized the
Mm.
models were very capable and they could do full stack apps like we wanted to. And then the second customer is a real estate app, so I can actually show you their website. Yeah, so this is the second customer. So they're doing building maintenance. So the idea is like you rather than calling the landlord to put in a maintenance request, you just do it on the phone, and then the tradespeople or the service providers also quote on the app, and then the property manager selects a quote, goes to the landlord. So there's kind of like an automated workflow there. Um, yeah, and this is the app, and then it's got a desktop version. Yeah, so this is the customer that we're currently working with, and they're ready. It's been a busy week, but I think on the weekend I'll finish that build and kind of release it to staging.
Yeah, awesome. So
But
yeah.
they signed off on the preview already,
Mm.
and they invested. So he was so impressed by what we built. The person that was leading this project, the owner of the real estate company, invested in our company as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's like the most positive customer feedback, right?
Yeah,
Someone
that's
gives
right.
you
Yeah, he
want to
wanted
give you some
in.
back.
Yeah, only 5K, but yeah, it's better.
Better than
It's a
nothing.
good signal. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Tell me a bit more about what you were saying, like the gap between um mm, publishing kind of the draft and like what's required in between the like 30% and then the 100%.
So yeah, so basically the stages are like this. So you pay the 30% and it goes to staging. So it's this full app, but it's not, you wouldn't put it in the hands of your customers. It's just for testing. So I'm not sharing this tab. Um, yeah, so you put it,
Okay.
you wouldn't put it in the hands of your customers yet, but you test it. It's the same app. So
Mm-hmm.
it would just be like, for example, for this would be airtree.junastaging.com. But then when
Mm-hmm.
you want to actually, and you're happy with it and you've done your 7-day trial,
Mm.
then you can pay the full amount, and then it will go to production. So it will be at like
Mm.
app.airtree.vc instead of like
Yeah.
on the staging link. And then you can use it, you can use it for real with your customers and your founders and things like that in your portfolio companies.
And what do you need to do in the background in that time? Like what if a customer wants to make changes? What
Yeah,
if
that's all automated. Yeah. So that process is all automated. I can show you that. So yeah, this is the admin panel. Um, So yeah, if I go to this project here, so basically the way it works is I won't start a new build yet.
Oh.
I can start a new build, but yeah, so this is all the stages in the build and deploys
Mm.
to staging, and then it'll deploy to production after that. But if
Mm-hmm.
there's a new request comes in, it we review it, and then we we quote it. So that process is not fully automated yet, where we quote the change. But
Mm-hmm.
I think by the 16th of April we'll have that automated as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, got it. Got it. Cool.
So we
Sorry.
review it because we don't want a big change.
Mm.
Yeah,
Because of the cost impact, right?
yeah. If it's a big change, like we have a little bit of buffer in that, but basically the 30% is our token cost and our hosting cost.
Yeah.
And so yeah, if we end up um, like underquoting, which we did for the first project because we underestimated how many tokens there would be, then yeah, we end up eating the token cost if they don't go ahead with the full project. That's why the 30% covers our costs and a little bit of margin for updates and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Okay. Sorry, I realize we've gone over time. In terms of milestones, it sounds like launch and like close a fundraise on 16th of April and your son's
Yeah, that's
birthday.
right. Yeah.
Um, is there anything else that you think we should have covered that we haven't talked about?
Yeah, I think it would be great to do a project with Airtree. I actually didn't want to pitch Airtree. I actually wanted to do a project with you guys because I thought I'm a bit too early for institutional. Um, so yeah, I would love to talk about um, actually building this out? Because or something else that you might found useful. Because I saw Jackie Vooling's post on that you guys were doing some things internally. Yeah, so this is the product that Juna kind of came up with, and I don't know if this is useful, but we can always adapt it. So it's a deal
Mm,
pipeline. It has comms, announcements, all your fund management. Your kind of your network. You can make intros here. Yeah, so it's got LP reports. Yeah, so it's full kind of management of VC firm. Not that I know exactly how you guys manage it, but this is what Judah came up with. Yeah, so is that something that we could maybe talk about, or is there someone else that would be good to facilitate a kind of discussion on that?
yeah, I can definitely chat to the team on this. It's probably not
Okay,
me. It's
okay,
probably Caitlin and Bree who sort of run and organize our website, and Josh who's our IT person.
yeah,
So I can flag with them and see if they're interested. We currently use Affinity, and I think like a lot of
okay,
the VC funds use Affinity.
yeah.
Why
So that's the
it's
product, is it?
yeah, it's our
S
CRM
I
platform
see. Yeah.
where
Okay.
it kind of tracks like the founders and companies that we've met with. It sucks in
Yeah.
emails, uh, and how we manage. Like the main thing we use it to manage is kind of like where people are at in the pipeline. Like if they're a
Okay.
lead, if it's in the due diligence phase, if it's in
Yeah.
term sheet, if it's closed, if it's in the portfolio. Um, and yeah, it like tracks interactions with different companies and people.
Okay. Yeah, I think that you can definitely make a customized version of that pretty easily.
Mm,
Um, like if we look at it, I mean that's the new norm, right? Like I don't know how much you pay for this, but I assume it's not very cheap. Seeing it's designed for VCs. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I think that's something that would be interesting to me. I hope it's something that might be interesting because you can add a lot of features that you might want, or if you have any pet peeves with the software, it's yours, right? And you
mhm.
can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, true. No, very true. I'll definitely flag with that team. It's probably outside of my remit on the investment
Okay,
team.
okay,
But I'll let you know what they say.
okay. All right, great.
Is there anything else? Any other questions or anything I can help with?
No, I think that's good. Yeah. What's your is your kind of initial reaction that it's a bit early for for an institutional round, or what's your gut reaction? Yeah.
No, not necessarily too early. So like we
Yeah.
invest from pre-seed person with an idea all the way up to
Okay.
late stage growth. So we do invest across like the full spectrum of different
Okay.
things. So there's no such thing as too early. I think like in terms of number of deals though, we do still tend to do like more seed
Okay.
series A than probably
Yeah, because most of the
pre-seed.
announcements I see is like around seed. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but like in terms of process for investment, like how that generally works is we meet as an investment committee every Monday. In that time, we talk about the different founders and companies that we've met in the last week or so, and we get a directional steer from the IC.
Okay.
If it's not something that's interesting to Airtree, I'll kind of come back to you within a week with the feedback from the group. If it is,
Okay.
I might come back to you with more questions, a request for
Okay.
another meeting, introduce you to more of the team, the partners, and
Yeah.
maybe a
Sure.
few follow-up questions in an email. That's kind of how the
Okay.
process works from my end.
Okay. Great. Sounds good.
Cool. Cool. I'll be in touch, but it's been lovely to meet you, and thanks so much
Yeah.
for
So
taking
nice.
me through. Looks like a
Yeah. No
super
worries.
neat
Yeah.
product.
Okay. Thanks
Really
so
glad.
much, Kate. Yeah. Thanks for your time, and thanks for stepping in for Dan as well.
No worries at all. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye.